Title this past week. But we got a return match right here today in that ring right over there. We'll have it for you coming up a little bit later. Also, our first look at the great Mephisto and Dante tag team. Tag team with a reputation coming in, and I don't know much about them.
Quite a reputation, yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing them here in just a little while. And also, Sid Vicious and Spike Huber. We'll have some videotape to show you about that. A situation involving
That's a match in which King Kong Bundy participated with Jeff Gaylord, and we got the videotape on that. Hey, I think that sounds like a pretty good start on the show today.
And there's more.
Yeah, you better believe it. Let's go to the ring. Corey Macklin.
All right, lads. One fall, 10 minutes in time for opening bout today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Coming in at a combined weight of 530 pounds. Here is Leon Downs and Ali Bin Khan. Their opponents at a combined weight 397 pounds. From the hood, here is JCI, Sir Wolfie D, PG-13. One fall, 10 minutes, back to Lance and Dave.
I tell you, Dave, it just never ceases to amaze me, this PG-13. They won the world. Look at here. We already got scrambling going on. I think that's the thing to keep people excited when they see PG-13.
Oh, I think you're right. You never know what's going to happen by that team. It's a team that came in with a checkered past, I guess, maybe is a good way to say it. They maybe didn't have quite the reputation with you and me that we would like to have had, but boy, they have really taken over in the USWA recently. The fans love them, and they are going here today against a tall and rangy guy in Leon Downs and his partner Ali Bin Khan.
For those of you who did not know, PG-13 won that last chance match with the Eliminators. They had given the Eliminators title shot after title shot. Nice fireman's carry throw by Wolfie D. Takes Leon over and has that arm bar on him. They won that last chance title match, so the Eliminators blew their opportunity to stay in there and win the titles, and PG-13 still reigning tall.
PG-13, yeah, reigning tall for a team that's not that big. I think that's one thing the fans love. Here's a scrappy team that when you first look at them, you think, boy, some of those bigger tag teams will eat them alive. But they go right with them and can prove they can win championship belts and keep them.
That's what the Eliminators thought. Look at these little guys over there. We're going to whip up on them, no problem at all. Now, it is true that occasionally, all of a sudden, they will discover a hubcap in their hand, and they're not opposed to using it.
Well, I was just going to mention they had two assistants over in the corner that are kind of difficult to see most of the time until they pick them up and start flying at you with those hubcaps.
Double whips on Ali Bin Khan. Yeah, how about that one? I mean, belly to back, they doubled up on it and dumped him right down in the middle of the ring. Tag goes from Wolfie D to JC, and JC Ice coming off there and nails him with the elbow. Has he got him? 2, 3, does.
PG-13 looking good again today with a good win here as they got Ali Bin Khan. There's the celebration as JC Ice kind of leads the crowd there. JC and Wolfie headed out with a victory in hand.
They are not bashful about it. Remember, we've got the USWA heavyweight title match. Gilbert defending against Brian Christopher coming up in just a moment.
To cast off with Jolly.
Are we on?
Yeah, I got this electronic thing figured out, and on the other end of the telephone, you know, I have missed you, King, son of a gun. Are you there with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we got it. Dave and Corey and Lance sitting here. We're saying, where is the King? Man, I tell you, you can't keep up with where all you've been.
Well, yeah, I have, and sometimes I kick myself later, and that's one of the situations that's happening now. I took some dates or some bookings for the World Wrestling Federation a long time ago, and you know, it's sometimes like when they call and they ask you, well, could you mind, could you wrestle for us here and could you wrestle for us here? And it's like they call you about 2 months in advance, and it sounds like, well, those days will never get here, so I agree to do it, and then all of a sudden now they're here, and that's when I'm saying, boy, I sure would rather be back home in Memphis.
Boy, I heard you're down in Tampa, you're out in San Francisco, and now you're in Pittsburgh. I know what you mean. It's got to be a feeling when you have to stay away that much. Is this totally destroying your softball? Are you able to get any softball in?
No, I haven't. I really have not. Well, I did get home just, I got home. I took the red-eye flight from San Francisco last Saturday night and made it home got home at like 9 o'clock Sunday morning and was able to go and play a softball game last week that we had scheduled. You know, we schedule those things far in advance, too, and so we hate to miss any of those. As a matter of fact, as you said, I'm in Pittsburgh right now. I'm going to be leaving here shortly and flying over to Philadelphia. I wrestle at the Spectrum in Philadelphia tonight. And then first thing in the morning, I think about 6 o'clock in the morning, I've got a flight back home to Memphis, thank goodness. And tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be playing some softball in Victoria, Mississippi.
All right.
And then...
yeah, that was the fans' approval of you getting back from Victoria, Mississippi.
I thought Corey had a little seizure there or something.
No.
But anyway, yeah, we're going to be in Victoria there tomorrow afternoon. And then, unfortunately, I head right back out for, gosh, I've got 3 more days of wrestling for them, and then I'm going to be back home for a while.
All right. Well, it just seems like forever. I know. I think I was gone one time when you were here. And I haven't seen you in about a month and a half.
Yeah, King, hadn't seen you in a long time. This is Dave. I was at the Spectrum.
Wait a minute, Jerry. Here comes Sid. Sid Vicious and Spike Huber, Jerry. Sid, will you just let us finish this phone call?
You sit there on the phone, and you tell everybody sitting here, everybody sitting at home watching TV, I'm off in Florida. I might be in Canada. But the truth is, Lawler, you're sitting at your house right here in the city of Memphis.
He is.
You're locked up in your closet, and you are a scared, fat pig. Bottom line, Lawler, the people that worship you are this. They call you the king. Well, I simply tell you, Lawler, you are a scared coward. And the people are looking right now at the uncrowned king. The uncrowned king of civilized killers, my friend. And before I'll leave the USWA, may it be a year or 10 years, you, Lawler, and everybody will understand. And you listen to me, my friend.
Get the Undertaker for your partner, Lawler.
There goes Sid, Lawler. Will you get back here and beat this sucker up? He's around here slamming and hurting everybody he can get anywhere near, Jerry. It is absolutely ridiculous, the stuff that Vicious has done since he's been here. Are you with us?
Oh, do we still got him?
Nope.
Lose the connection?
Yeah, we lost the connection in there. Let's hold on here a second. Let me see if I can... Well, I don't know whether I can get him back again or not.
You want me to try dialing him up?
Yeah, here? It was.
Here, let me try.
We had the talk portion of it that was messed up. Jerry got to hear all of the comments that Sid Vicious made, and then we lost the talk portion of it. Huh? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do right about now. I don't know what we'll do. I was talking. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. We are ready to go with some action that we promised you a little bit earlier, and that was a videotape, Dave, with Sid Vicious involved.
Sid Vicious, Spike Huber were going against King Kong Bundy and Jeff Gaylord in a match. Take a very close look at the situation here. I think maybe Gaylord and Bundy had a good chance of winning this thing. See for yourself as we watch.
You'll see a little mistake. Big Sid Vicious, the unified heavyweight champion, squaring off, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first time they have met. Now, I'm not positive that, but it's the first time that I can remember. Vicious went to pick him up, and what happened, buddy?
Oh, Lance. Well, all those many muscles he got, he may have popped one trying to pick up Big King Kong Bundy. Look at Bundy! Slams down Sid Vicious.
Vicious reverses the whip. In the air, has Gaylord on his shoulder. Back over there by the rope, drops his head down, and Gaylord snaps to the mat.
There's Vicious climbing the ropes up on the middle one. Jeff trying to get to his feet, and he does. Nails Vicious at the midsection. Tag King Kong Bundy.
That's what we were looking for. King Kong Bundy roars in after Sid Vicious. Pops his head straight back. A whip across the ring. Slams that avalanche into him, and Vicious's knees go down. And Gaylord saying, give me the tag. Gaylord hasn't rested enough. And he whipped King Kong Bundy in, but Vicious was out of the way, and now Gaylord is caught.
Oh, boy, Jeff Gaylord is pumped up with his bout, but just not enough. Look at that! Oh, a bomb on Gaylord. I think that's all she wrote, Lance.
Power bomb 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Well, it was a tactical error there, no doubt about it, by Jeff and Bundy.
And it came from the fact that they just haven't worked that much together. But, brother, they showed they got the firepower with King Kong Bundy in there. You better believe it. When somebody pops that power, takes that power bomb, all right, Sid. Good night. This guy, man, he can give you nervous prospects. Spike Huber, Sid Vicious in here with T.D. Steele and Edric Hines.
Look out, look out.
And you might know it wouldn't be in the ring as Sid and Spike Huber got one thing in mind, and that's hurting everybody they can come close to.
They got T.D. over here on the table. T.D. isolated, his partner lying on the floor. And Spike Huber and Sid Vicious both working him over.
I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this, people.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got a problem here. See, TD today. See, there was a little failure to communicate.
Oh, come on, Sid. You don't need to do that. You've made your point.
If you're watching, you better realize something, and you better get it in your head. If you come out here, if you face Sid Vicious, or you face Spike Huber, this is gonna happen.
Sid, will you quit it? That is so ridiculous. There's no need. You proved the point. You beat them down. All right.
Oh, look out, look out. Got the other one.
You just got disqualified in case you didn't know it. Now they got Edric Hines draped over the table here. T.D. Steele. Oh.
If you got the guts, fellas, if you got the guts, Bundy, I'm begging you.
There goes Edric Hines into the ring. They have just been hammered, pummeled, beat up with a belt out here, anything in the world. And Sid Vicious saying, oh, I don't want to do this. No, you took great delight in this.
I'm going to tell you something. It hurt me to do that.
Yeah, sure.
It hurt me. I don't like doing that. Spike didn't like doing that. I love it. We love it. Oh, I'm not believing this.
Why don't you guys just take it on out of here? Hey, there's no point in getting any more. The winners, they don't look much like winners, but T.D. Steele and Edric Hines are the winners, Davey. And now look. Can't you guys just leave? Look, they've got Gaylord trapped right in the middle of it. Sid behind.
Yep, one behind, one ahead of him. Got him in the middle. Sid Vicious round the ring. Spike Huber's ahead. Hey, Gaylord says, all right, come on in. I'll take you on. Look out from behind, Jeff. Oh, boy.
Gaylord going after Spike, but from behind, Sid Vicious hammers him with that double axe handle, and now look at the two of them. Gaylord coming in there with a problem he had with Vicious and Huber. He's worried about these two kids that just got not only beat up, but strapped over here within an inch of their life. He comes in, and now he gets caught in between Huber and Vicious. That's enough of that stuff. Oh, no. Sid setting him up for the power bomb.
Oh.
Pounds him down. Oh, man, I hate that. They end up where they could hit that neck, so easy.
The head.
Okay.
Get the head twisted.
No, not one more.
Sid Vicious claiming support from the fans for another one. I don't believe this.
You can see how much he hates to do this. He's got Gaylord again. Another power bomb in the offing. Spike. Jeff Gaylord laying out, Dave,
already hit him with 2 power bombs, and now they say they've got to do it one more time.
You made us do this, is what Vicious said. Yeah. All they need is some body to where they can take and destroy it. Once again, picking Sid up. Sid picks him up in the air. Spike to get him where he could add more impetus to it, and down goes Gaylord. So, you know what you're going to end up doing? You're going to end up getting suspended out of here, and that'd be the best thing that happened to all of it. Get rid of these guys. Eddie Marlin coming out fine. Maybe he can get him out of here.
Gaylord. Better get some more help out here. I don't know. We may need some medical help there. Hey, don't pick him up.
Hey, don't pick him up. Kevin, don't let him touch him.
Watch out, Lance. Watch it. Disqualified.
No, they don't need to be moving. What they need, Randy, we need to get some professional help. Don't move him. Don't move him. Don't move him to that net. Will you guys get out of here, Sid? Okay, let's take a break.
Take a break? Yeah. We got another match coming up here pretty soon, but I think what we probably need to do while Jeff is attended to, we'll leave him right there. We don't want to do anything till we get some help here for him. Let's do this. Let's go to this videotape of Brian Christopher and Doug Gilbert, USWA title on the line. And this is a situation where Brian, of course, feels that the USWA heavyweight title is his. He had it for a long, long time. Doug Gilbert was going against him. The title was at stake. Take a look at this videotape right here.
Doug Gilbert saying, come out and get it. Drills him with a left hand. Again, 3 in a row. T.D. Steele telling him to open the fist up. Get in there and back him up, T.D. And Christopher backed him up with a right hand. Pops him again, and down Gilbert goes. He's up. Reversal on the whip for a backdrop. Christopher comes with that swinging sabot kick. Pops him right upside the head. Follows in with a right hand. Brian Christopher at the 12-minute mark. Whoa, no. Christopher goes underneath the clothesline. Somebody from the crowd, while the referee was down, just fired a chain into Brian. And with T.D. Steele down, he's going to use it. Here comes Scott Bowden. Christopher grabs Bowden. And from behind, Doug Gilbert nailed him. It's on the floor. The referee, T.D. Steele, is still down. Doug Gilbert trying to hold Christopher. He nailed him with something. I don't know what. It looked like a roll of coins in there. 1, 2, 3, and we have, in 12 minutes and 51 seconds, a new U.S. heavyweight champion.
Well, that's exactly right. There is a new USWA heavyweight champion, but maybe not for too much longer, because as we told you at the beginning of the program, we've got the return schedule right here coming up a little bit later on today. They continue to attend to Jeff Gaylord in the ring. We're waiting for some professional medical help to arrive and help us out. Until then, we're going to do other things, including, Corey, let's check the action coming up around the territory.
Okay, Dave, we will, and we'll check on Jeff Gaylord here as soon as possible. Let's tell you about USWA Championship Wrestling on Tour. It's beginning Saturday night. Saturday night, Marktree, Arkansas. 8 p.m. is bell time there to Marktree High School. You see the names there. Jerry the King Lawler will be there. Jeff Gaylord is scheduled to be there as well. And Sid Vicious on that card in Marktree, Arkansas. Coming up Saturday night, August 13th. Marktree there at the high school. USWA Wrestling coming up Friday night, August 26th, Camden, Tennessee. They're at the fairgrounds at the Benton County Fair there. The Moondogs on the card. Brian Christopher, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich will be there as well, all in Camden. Saturday, August 27th, USWA Wrestling in Jonesboro, Arkansas, 8 p.m. bell time, Earl Bell Community Center. World title match, championship battle royal, Moondogs, Tommy Rich, Brian Christopher, all of them will be in Jonesboro Saturday night, August 27th. Tickets are on sale right now at Front Page Cafe for wrestling there. September 1st, wrestling for the very first time ever in Russellville, Alabama. There at the Recreation Center. USWA Top Stars will be in Russellville, Alabama. Friday night, September 2nd, 8 p.m., Crenshaw, Mississippi, there at the Crenshaw Gym. The King, Jerry Lawler there, Brian Christopher, Moondogs, Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert, all in Crenshaw, Mississippi. Great people in Crenshaw, and a big night of USWA wrestling action there. Saturday, September 3rd, 8 p.m. bell time. Blytheville, Arkansas, there at the National Guard Armory. Box office opens at 12 noon for wrestling in the Blytheville. You'll see the King, Jerry Lawler, Moondogs, Brian Christopher, all in Blytheville, Arkansas, coming up Saturday, September 3rd. That's USWA Championship Wrestling on Tour. Again, nothing like being there, seeing it live when it comes to your hometown. We're going to check on the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord, and Lance today. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more wrestling action. Stay with us.
As supervising, as we've got emergency medical personnel now moving Jeff out of here. We frankly don't know what's wrong, but Jeff is being attended to by the emergency people. We know that he was injured by 3 power bombs from Sid Vicious and appears to have an injured neck, and he is being moved with great care, as you see. To the edge of the ring. He'll be put on the stretcher, and they'll take him to the emergency center and get him the proper attention here.
You know, I can believe that Sid and Spike Huber, the 2 power bombs. I mean, that's not. But that third one, that's even beyond belief for Sid Vicious and Spike Huber. I come back after they had him out up in the middle of the ring and then put a third one on.
And you got a guy like Jeff Gaylord, and boy, this is something that's really distressing to see him carried out on a stretcher like this.
He was out here trying to help somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, here's a former All-American football player from the University of Missouri. He's a man who's quite an athlete, has stayed in consummate shape, and was out here trying to help somebody else, and he's attacked by Sid Vicious and Spike Huber, double teamed, and that's the result right there.
There he goes out on the stretcher right now as they're taking him out. Well, good. We got good. I guess, isn't that terrible? You sit here and say good because we got a camera on it, but we think that way in terms of television.
I guess it does that to us.
They're taking Jeff out through the back way to the ambulance, which is right outside the back of the studio. And, well, it's a bright, beautiful day, but Jeff Gaylord is not caring a whole lot about the condition of the day at this time. And you see PG-13, JC Ice, and Wolfie D, just some of the concerned wrestlers. And when you got a guy who is so big and powerful as Sid Vicious to do that, and then compound it with Spike Huber, who is a powerhouse himself, to end up spiking the power bomb the way he did it, to hammer him down in there.
Yeah, he obviously made it worse, especially on that third one where he had him lifted so high, and then when he dropped him down and it was twisted and hit that way.
Good sign. I saw Jeff, his hands moving there. I heard him telling the medical people his left leg he could move, but his right leg he could not move. And that's the good news and bad news of the whole situation.
That's one reason to exercise such care here, and one reason, you know, I think the tendency is for wrestlers to come out and help each other and pick you up, roll you out of the ring, and head on.
That's
we wanted to make sure that
want
to make sure that didn't happen here, because Jeff obviously did have some sort of problem, so he's got the proper care coming right here, and. Okay, well,
we've got Mephisto and Dante. Obviously, we're interested in having the match and taking a look at them, but we also have a U.S. heavyweight title match coming up here, but we got to take care of first things first. Why don't we take a
break?
You know me? You may not recognize.
We'll obviously get reports, and we'll fill you in just as quickly as we can. And it almost seems that way, but we've been here long enough that we know that life goes on, and so do we. Yeah. So we've got business to take care of. And Memphis, Monday night. We got it at the Mid-South Coliseum. 7:30 will be the bell time, and what a night of action.
Indeed. Opening match coming in. King Cobra will be going against Leon Downs. We saw Leon a little bit earlier here in the match. He and King Cobra should have a fine pairing. Tony Williams will be going against one of the eliminators. Cronus will be wrestling as a single. The other eliminator, Saturn, will be going against the All-American Doug Basham. Then there's a bounty match coming up.
Yeah, this is one where the Spellbinder is going to be put in there against Coco Ware. Now, the Spellbinder, a rather physically impressive guy, but I got to tell you, I'm not really sure if he knows how tough the Birdman is or not. He's going to be finding out about it.
Then an 8-man tag elimination match. Special thing on this one, the winner gets $2,500. Here you go. You got the eliminators, Spellbinder, and Leon Downs on one side of the ring. On the other, the All-American Doug Basham, Coco Beware, Tony Williams, and King Cobra. Again, 8-man tag elimination match. $2,500 to the winner.
Hey, that's $825 a piece for the winning team. Sure. No bad days.
Night on the town.
Yes, sir. USWA Tag Title Match. PG-13 will be facing a team that we hope to get a look at a little bit later. We've been talking about them. The Great Mephisto and Dante. Mephisto and Dante with Reggie B. Fine at their side. That can't be all good news for PG-13.
And you got a match in which anything goes. A revenge match. A Moondog Brawl. No time limit. No disqualification. The Moondog Lumberjack match. Are those rules going to be in effect, too? I guess so. Maybe Lumberjack's around. That was the situation a week ago, I believe it was. Brian Christopher and the Moondogs will be going against Wildfire, Tommy Rich, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, and Scott Bowden. I beg your pardon, and the Killer, Scott Bowden, will be in their corner. So that is going to be one of those.
Not Jerry Lee going to be in. No.
I think so.
I see the Killer. Rich Gilbert and the Killer against Brian and the Moondogs. And then we are going to be looking at a main event. I don't think so.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Jeff Gaylord and King Kong Bundy were scheduled, but Gaylord isn't going to be in any position against Vicious and Huber. Sid, for crying out loud, isn't anything ever enough for you?
This show today, I came out here and I tried to make a little bit of a statement to you and everybody. I did not really enjoy it doing that much.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on, I will not talk until they shut up.
Well, then that may be the fact that we won't be hearing.
I guess it's real simple to see right now that all you have to do is open your eyes and look. And I don't believe Lance Russell, and I think at this time, maybe one time, you're going to have to agree with me in spite that now, after seeing this, there's not anyone out there that's got the guts. I'm talking about guts that now step into the ring with myself or Spike. I don't think there's nobody out here that want to say something. Now, it should be simple for everyone to see. Me and Spike, we got a little saying that goes like this, don't it, Spike? Do unto the man as the man would do unto you. Hey, do it first. Yeah, do it first.
Oh, you guys, I got to tell you. I know one guy that'll get in there with you, King Kong Bundy. Wait a minute, here comes Eddie Marlin.
Nobody's going to wrestle against y'all.
No way.
I'm going to turn in a complete report on what just happened in that ring. You might not be laughing then. And I want to tell you something else. We had a tag team scheduled, and we will have a tag team. I'll get back here on the phone, and I'll
Good
find
luck.
somebody.
Good luck. Fly away, fat man. Fly away, old fat
Oh,
man.
boy, you got
I'm
no
gonna tell
respect
ya.
for anything.
I'm going to tell you what's going to be the conclusion of what Eddie Marlin just said. He's going to go out there, he's going to get on that phone, and he's going to dial those numbers. He's going to say, hey, guys, we got a big problem down there in Memphis. Big problem. Can you come and help us? And these guys are going to go, yeah, what's the problem? They're going to say it's Sid Vicious. This guy's going to say, sorry, man. I saw what happened to Dude. Dude, where are you, brother? We don't have the time.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing for faith. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, well, we're going to take time out now. We'll be back with some wrestling action in a moment.
How did you know it was time for a new mattress?
Well, with our next bout, one fall, 10 minutes in time. First introducing at a combined weight of 411 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Eddie Gibbons and his partner, Tony Williams. Pardon me, Corey Williams. Their opponents wrestling out of New York City at a combined weight of 474 pounds. They're going to have first appearance in the USWA. Here is the Great Mephisto and Dante. One fall, 10 minutes in time. Kevin Christian is referee. Back to Lance and Dave.
Well, this new team coming in here, I don't like the looks of them right off the bat.
I think that the crowd is kind of, whoa. Well, they went to work right away.
They grabbed Corey Williams, dropped him to the mat, wasting no time. Look at him tag in and out of here. Obviously, this team has worked together for some time.
Came in here with a lot of gear, and they had, yeah, that wild-looking devil doll there with the flashing.
Yeah.
Nice going. Whoa, big elbow. The stockier of the two. A foot called for and up in the air, and Corey Williams is hammered back down. I want to say Corey Macklin every time I call out his name.
I'm kind of like what happened to Corey Macklin here. I want to call it Tony Williams because we're so used to seeing Tony around, but it is Corey Williams, our first look at him on USWA Wrestling here today.
Fired over into the corner, and now it's Eddie Gibbons who comes in. Gibbons fired away with that right forearm, slamming at Mephisto and Dante. Our very first look at him. And Gibbons is down 1, 2, 3. Got it.
You know, he got him. He came around by the side of him, kind of blindsided him with a side kick. Got Gibbons down to the mat, dropped on him immediately. Was able to hold him for the 3 count. This team right here is going to be trouble, I can tell you. They
uh-oh, look at that. With a boot.
Oh, that's loaded boot?
Yeah.
what's in that thing? Maybe that's the reason he knocked him down.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, well, that's even worse sign. Even worse sign.
You got some competition coming up. You got the USWA Tag Champions coming up. That's what you got. PG-13 is going to be in for a challenge from Mephisto and Dante. Why don't we get out of here and we'll be back and find out what else we got.
Through these
Okay, Mephisto and Dante winning their first competition that we had an opportunity to see them in this territory. They are, as I said, in line for PG-13 to have a title shot.
And they're a dangerous team. PG-13, I'm sure, paid close attention to that match, and will be watching them in weeks to come.
They were not pressed all of that much today, but that just shows you they are some competition. We had an opportunity, Dave, after the action last week in which Bundy and Gaylord, valiant effort, just simply, pure and simply made a mistake in there, and it came from not having worked together that much on that second avalanche. It might be a whole different story, and I wish it had been after what happened to Jeff Gaylord today. By the way, we just checked. We do not have any further information as yet. Let's take a listen to what King Kong Bundy had to say to us.
Follow me right on in here because we're going to corner the man right in the locker room. It's been a long time since we've seen him, King Kong Bundy. And I got to tell you one thing, the Coliseum was buzzing when this big guy was in there with Sid Vicious, Spike Huber, and his partner, Jeff Gaylord. Turned out to be a tough ending for you, King Kong.
You know something, Lance Russell? Everybody knows the great Bundy. I was here with Jimmy Hart and the First Family. Everybody in the Mid-South knows Bundy. Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 2, I beat him like a dog. Everybody knows King Kong Bundy. And you know that I'm not the sort of man to let Sid Vicious get away with what you did tonight. You double-teaming, backstabbing dog. Yeah, I hit the turnbuckle. That big avalanche, I was stunned for a split second. And boom, a double team. You and Spike Huber. Well, let me tell you something, pal. I'm going to dig real deep into my bag of tricks, and I'm going to bring out everything I got, because next time you are going down.
Well, there's a word from King Kong Bundy and on the situation which occurred last week and upcoming situations right here. Eddie Marlin is with us right now. Eddie, I know you said you were going to make some telephone calls and all that sort of thing.
Sid Vicious and his partner was out here saying I could find nobody that would take them on. But I went back and made a few phone calls, and Lance had just made a phone call right now. And let this man right here tell Sid Vicious that he's not afraid of him.
Okay. Okay, Eddie Marlin has informed us that we have an opponent to team up with King Kong Bundy against Sid Vicious and Spike Huber. And who we got on the phone?
Well, Lance, it's the King. Who do you think it is?
Whoa! Jerry!
Let me just say this, Lance. I got cut off a little bit earlier with Eddie. What happened? I heard Sid Vicious say earlier that he thought that I was sitting at my house and that I was afraid to come down to that TV studio.
Yeah.
I'll just tell everybody that my house, I wish I was sitting in my house because my house is on Walnut Grove Road and I'm about 8 minutes from that TV studio when I'm home. And believe me, if I had been sitting at home, I would have been in my car and I would have been down there and I would have been right in Sid Vicious' face. But I'm not. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania right now. But let me tell you something. As I said before, when you take wrestling bookings for promoters, you promise them that you will be there no matter what. And that's exactly what I've done for the World Wrestling Federation. I promised them that this week I would wrestle for them in Boston, Massachusetts. The only way you don't show up for a match that you're booked is if you have transportation difficulties or if you have a death or an illness in your family or something like that. Well, Memphis and the USWA is my family. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's an illness in the family. There's a sickness in the USWA, and that sickness is Sid Vicious. And I feel like I got to come home to take care of that sickness. I'm going to pay a little house call to the USWA, and I'm going to show Sid Vicious that there ain't nobody that's afraid of him, especially not the King. When you put the King, Jerry Lawler, partners with King Kong Bundy, who I know very well, and I know exactly what he's capable of. Sid Vicious, you and Spike Huber are going to get the cure this week, I promise you that.
Boy, I love that. So you are going to be able to be here Monday night in spite of that booking, Jerry.
I will. I promised him I would be in Boston. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to call him right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to Philadelphia tonight, and then I'm going to get on the first flight and head right back to Memphis tomorrow night.
Get out of here, Marlon!
Oh, here comes Vicious out here, Jerry. Spike Huber and Sid Vicious. Hang on, Jerry.
When you made that big announcement that Jerry Lawler was going to be here Monday night, you heard his cheering roll those 3 retards over in that corner. That's how many people, 3 people, Lawler, really believe that you've got the guts to show up. You know what it is? It's like I don't care how big I am or how small the guy is. I'm sitting there, Lawler, and you imagine I'm slapping him. And I'm slapping him, and I'm looking at him, and I'm calling you a fat pig, a fat pig, a fat pig, a coward. Finally, any coward in the world will bow up. Any coward in the world will make a stand for himself. See, Lawler, I knew this about you. Shut up! I knew this about you. If I pushed you back far enough, no matter how yellow you are, you'd finally make that stand, but then you would make the big mistake. You would finally show your big, fat, slug face to me. Now, you have given me the opportunity, Lawler, and I am going to take advantage of it. I am going to finish you, Lawler, once and for all. And for you, King Kong Bundy, next tape they see of you, I'm going to promise you something, fat man. You're going to be sitting there, and you're going to be blood. You're going to be blood from head to toe. And when we get through with y'all, this is what. Take a look at it. This is what we're going to do to you. That is what we're going to do to you.
Okay, Sid. Well, Jerry, he had his say in there. I don't think it's going to have the effect that he wanted, and that is to scare you away. I know you too well for that. If we can get these raving guys out of here. Jerry, you still there?
I'm still here. All I can tell you is basically all I can hear is mass confusion. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we heard.
Well, I can hear Sid Vicious screaming out there. Let me just say this, Sid. You don't think of yourself as tall. Just think of yourself as a freak of nature. But I can tell you this. I have to stand on the shoulders of King Kong Bundy to do it. I'm going to shove my fist right down that big mouth of yours Monday night, and we'll see how loud you can talk with my fist down your throat.
Bless your heart. We are looking for the king Monday night, Jerry. Good news, and nobody deserves it more than Vicious in his face.
Yeah, all right. I guess the king is not. Hey, I guess he had said all he was going to say.
Eddie,
let's quickly.
Before you go, this is firm. We can change this now, right?
Make it Bundy and Lawler. All right, let's do it. Let's run through this Memphis card real quickly here. King Cobra will be going against Leon Downs. Tony Williams will be going against Cronus, the Eliminator. The other Eliminator, Saturn, goes against All-American Doug Basham. Spellbinder against Coco Beware in a bounty match. 8-man tag elimination match, $2,500 to the winner. The Eliminators, Spellbinder and Leon Downs against King Cobra, Doug Basham, Coco Beware, and Tony Williams. USWA tag title match. PG-13 will be going against that team we saw here today, the Great Mephisto and Dante. Reggie B. Fine scheduled to be in their corner. Revenge match, Moondog Brawl, no time limit, no DQ, anything goes. Brian Christopher and the Moondogs will be going against Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert, and the Killer. Scott Bowden will be in their corner, and then that big main event.
Oh, what a main event it's going to be. Vicious and Huber will be facing King Kong Bundy and Jerry the King Lawler. Monday night Coliseum. Get there early, brother. You don't want to miss any of that. Hey, we got some video on King Kong Bundy in action. Let's take a look. Oh.
We don't.
Oh,
we just
okay.
go to break.
We don't have the tape, so we'll just go to break and get back with action. We got a title match coming up.
What would you do?
Yeah. 8-man tag action, which took place just recently here wild action.
Yeah.
Just want to take a look. Let's do that.
Take a look at the guys with the boards around the ring.
Christopher, Moondogs, and Valiant are the victors, but believe me, it is not over with as the Spellbinder going after Christopher outside the ring.
And what's interesting in this, Lance, is that the Lumberjacks for Christopher and the Moondogs and Handsome Jimmy all threw their boards down. Super Mario, Benjamin, PG-13, because they saw Christopher and Handsome and Moondogs won it, so they thought it was over with, but it is not over with by a long shot. Man, it's the Lumberjacks, all of the Lumberjacks, for Tommy Ridge, Doc Gilbert, Scott Button, and Bodyguard, all jumping on Christopher and the Moondogs and Handsome Jimmy.
Jimmy caught in the middle of the ring with 4 of them going after him. Rich is in there hammering that knee with that board, and now here comes Doug Gilbert, puts the trash can over the top of it, and he hits it. Oh, they are killing that knee of Handsome Jimmy. The Bodyguard holding, and Tommy again going with that board while outside the ring. Christopher comes rolling in to see if he can run out. I don't know what he's got in his hand.
Yeah, okay. Well, here they come with a celebration, the champagne. Scott Bowden with a champagne for the...
Let it flow. You want some of this, Dave?
No, thank you. And I appreciate you coming here and messing up the studio.
I would hate for something to get on that $20 suit of yours.
The new USWA heavyweight champion, Doug Gilbert.
Look at that, Dave Brown. You know what this right here says? It says that I'm the best there is in the USWA. I am the man that stands right in front of Sid Vicious, if you know what I'm saying. And I do so much love Sid Vicious. But what I'm saying, Dave Brown, this has been the greatest week of my life. I'm standing out here, and there's not too many people that has the privilege of coming out here and saying they're the best it is in the USWA. So Brian Christopher, not being a closet champion, what I did, Dave Brown, I told old Eddie Marlin, I said, why don't you bring Brian Christopher on out here today, and I'll give him a USWA title shot. Because, see, what it means to be the USWA champion, you are the sexiest man, Dave Brown. I'm telling you, who is the sexiest man in the USWA? Mwah! I am. Who is the toughest man in the USWA? I am. What I'm saying, Dave Brown, Brian Christopher, you've got about 5 friends. Handsome Jimmy Valiant was one of them, and he's laying over there at the med with his big leg broke. So what I'm telling you, Brian Christopher, my buddy Wildfire Tommy Rich, somebody said, Doug, where's Tommy at? Well, what Tommy did, I carried him a couple days ago and put him on a flight. And he flew to Chicago, and he found the baddest man in the world. And his name is The Killer. And what The Killer has promised Tommy Rich and has promised myself that he's going to do. After this week, Dave Brown, there will be no more Moondogs. There will be no more Brian Christopher. And all that's going to remain is what has changed. Sid Vicious will be the USWA heavyweight champion, and Dangerous Doug Gilbert will reign as the USWA heavyweight champion, Dave.
Well, all right, the belt is on the line. Scott Bowden, let's get him in the ring, and let's get going with this title match.
Hey, how about some congratulations? We opened up a bottle of champagne. All these drunks over here keep begging for a free drink. Hey, you loafer.
Hey, just take care of business, all right?
Where's Lance Russell at? I'm sure he'd like to have a drink of that, don't you?
Hey, you just get into the ring, and let's get going with this championship match. Let's go to Corey Macklin right now for the official introduction.
Thank you, Dave. This bout is a sanctioned USWA heavyweight title bout. Scheduled for TV time today. First introducing the challenger, weighing in 222 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Brian Christopher. His opponent, the holder of the USWA heavyweight title, weighing in at 245 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Dangerous Doug Gilbert. With Scott Bowden, this is the USWA heavyweight title out. Back to Lance and Dave.
All right, thank you, Corey. We're set to go. Been looking forward to this one. TV time limit is in effect for this championship match. Normally at the arenas, of course, it's an hour time limit for a championship match, but both of the participants agreed to the time constraints of television for this match. Doug Gilbert, very, very confident. Scott Bowden over here with a $3 bottle of champagne celebrating. And they may not be quite so confident because Mr. Christopher feels like he has a right to that belt, and he's going to try to take it back right here today.
Doug Gilbert figures one way that he might prevent that is to stay away from him long enough and stay outside the ring. No, I got to tell you, Dave, and this is what I think is high praise. But when I have seen...
Lance Russell, I don't think these people realize who their champion is.
Well, maybe it's because they're in denial. They really don't want to admit you're the champion, Doug. What I was going to say, Dave, I got to tell you, when these two guys get together, it reminds me of when Lawler and Bill Dundee used to get together. They go at it, hammer and tong, and actually as good a tough of matches as you'll see. It is great when you see Christopher and Gilbert going at it. And look at Brian. He is hot. He wants him back in.
He is angry, and perhaps that is part of the Doug Gilbert tactic, not only staying away from him, but staying away from him to irritate Brian and see if Brian will commit early and make a mistake. Here's Scott Bowden over here.
Yeah, Dave, quit putting the Bill and Snooze land out there with your announcement. Hey, how do you expect a champion to concentrate on all these fat hogs over here yelling for Brian Christopher? Brian Christopher makes me sick to my stomach.
Hey, if he's a real champion, he'd be able to stand there and take care of business. Whoa! Did you see that drop kick? He nailed him right in the chops. Beauty from Brian Christopher. Doug Gilbert, tough guy. Now, we get mad at Gilbert because he runs that mouth and grabs a microphone every chance, and he'll stall and this and that. But he can go.
He comes with a great wrestling legacy, too. His father, one of the toughest wrestlers ever in the area, or anywhere else. And, of course, he's the brother of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Doug Gilbert, he doesn't rest on either reputation, though. He's a tough, tough customer in his own right.
What a pairing, the champion Doug Gilbert, the former champion Brian Christopher, trying to get that title back. And Gilbert powered into the corner. He's rolled up 1, 2, and he just beat it. 2 3/4.
I thought he almost had the 3 count, but the referee confirms I only counted to 2 before that shoulder came up. And now Bowden is complaining he had his hair pulled, and Doug is complaining he had his tights pulled. Hey, we need to get together on the story there.
Yeah, guys. Circling Doug Gilbert. Collar and elbow tie up, back over to the rope. Gilbert ripping a right hand to the midsection, to the head, as off the ropes, whipped Christopher, goes underneath, DDT, and hammered him down into it. He's got him covered again, Dave. 1, 2, 3, no!
Woo. And it was close. Very, very close.
Really. And Christopher whip across ring diagonally. And stepping out of the way, Doug Gilbert gave headaches to Brian Christopher. I believe he's got that tape off his wrist again.
Yep, using it to choke. That's electrical tape. People know that stuff. If you tear it just right, it works. But when you stretch it out, it's almost impossible to break it, and that's what he does on it.
He's done it before, and he just got through doing it. He got rid of it just then. In the air, reverse atomic knee drop. Brian Christopher down and hurt as Doug Gilbert grabs him by the hair, whips a left straight out at him.
Doug with both fists double, hitting him with a right, then a left, and now another left.
Come on, Kevin, step in there and break that up. He's just hammering him with that fist. And now Brian Christopher pounds him with a right hand. Took him to the deck again. Signaling the Bulldog. He did it.
Brian Christopher has taken control here after a series of left-hand punches from Doug Gilbert. The referee's just been knocked down. Brian went by one, and Scott Bowden has just thrown something that looks like a chain, has thrown it into Doug Gilbert. Oh, Doug's not hiding it. He shows the crowd. Look at this. Wraps it around his fist. Oh, and he nailed Scott Bowden. Brian ducks out of the way. There's the kick. He picks up the chain. He's got it now. He wraps it around, and he picks up Doug and hammers him with a right hand. There's the cover. The referee counts 1, 2. Scott Bowden is in. That's going to be a disqualification, and that is going to prevent Brian from winning the belt. A disqualification by Scott Bowden jumping into the ring.
One of the most obvious ones I have ever seen. He made no bones about it. He just ran in, jumped on Christopher's back in order to get the disqualification. Winner, Brian Christopher. Belt by disqualification stays with Doug Gilbert. Bad scene. Scott Bowden did it. We got to take time out. We'll be back.
In the fight against diabetes.
Shortly, I would like to get a word from Brian Christopher, though. Brian, as we went to break, was asking, hey, you know, I thought that was my chance at the rematch to get the belt, as of course it was. Obviously, Scott Bowden just leaped into the ring just for the sole purpose of getting Doug Gilbert disqualified, knowing that even though Doug was losing the match, he was going to lose it anyway, but he was going to lose the belt. But, Brian, we were just talking about it, the obvious disqualification so that you don't get the belt.
That's right, Dave. You know, ever since he stole that belt from me last week, I've been trying to get a match with him, and he agreed to it right here. I couldn't believe it. He agreed to put the belt up on TV today. But you saw, he had it back in the back of his mind. He was going to bring Scott Bowden out here, stand at ringside, and when I had him beat, have Scott Bowden enter the ring and cause a disqualification, which is what happened. And now I'm standing out here without my belt again. So what I did was, I went back there to Eddie Marlin as soon as I could, and I said, Eddie, I want a rematch. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll put up something if I have to, but I want a rematch as soon as I can against Doug Gilbert so I can prove to everybody, prove to you, prove to everybody at home that I should be the USWA heavyweight champion. But he didn't give me an extra. Here he comes right now here.
Yeah, Eddie, I know you've had a discussion with him, and Brian wants the rematch. What's the verdict here?
As soon as I left you, Brian, I went to Doug, and he said there's only one way that he'd give you a rematch. He said one of his farm hands needs a car to drive around on the farm. If you put up your car, it'll save him having to buy one.
Well, he said he'd put up something. What about that?
One of his farm hands needs an extra car. Should I put my car up?
Normally, you make the decision, you'll be putting your car against the belt. So it just depends on which means most to you, the car or the belt.
About evenly divided in the crowd over here.
You know, I do have a brand new Blazer, a black Chevy Blazer I just bought last year, and I sure would hate to lose it. And all these people over here telling me, no, don't put my car at stake.
Well, that's the consensus now, I think. Don't do that.
But these people, I'm sure they don't understand how much that belt means to me. I'm going to tell you what, normally I listen to the fans, but in this situation right here, I'm going to have to go on my own. And Eddie Marlin, I will put my car at stake.
Book the match. It's official. Add the match.
An added match? Title will be at stake? You got it. All right, Brian, you got the rematch.
Doug Gilbert, I know you're probably sitting somewhere with a big, big ear-to-ear smile on your face. You think you got everything going the way you want it. Well, believe me, Doug, you don't know how down and dirty I can get. And you don't know how mean and nasty I can get, especially with something at stake. And my car means an awful lot to me, Doug, but so does that belt. So believe me when I tell you, I will do whatever it takes to be the new champion again, Doug Gilbert.
There's the word right there. The rematch has been signed. It'll be the car against the belt. We got a standby match here. Here's Corey with the introduction.
Okay, Dave, we're ready to go with it. This one's the expiration of our time right here on USWA Championship Wrestling. Making his way to the ring area now at 241 pounds. Here is Saturn, the Eliminator, with Reggie B. Fine and partner Cronus. His opponent, 215 pounds, from Louisville, Kentucky. Here is the All-American, Doug Basham. Expiration of our time on USWA Championship Wrestling. Back to Lance Russell, Dave Brown.
Okay, Corey, looks like Saturn has got enough help out here. Reggie B. Fine, Cronus out here in the corner, and Doug Basham all by himself over there. Think you got enough help out here, Reggie?
You know, Coco tried to kill me last week, right? I got a bounty.
Reggie.
Hey, man, he broke my neck in 17 places last week, man. So
You are in bad shape, no question about that, Reggie. Reggie all bundled up over here, and yeah, look at that Basham move. What a beauty that was.
Superfly don't feel too good this week, but I got a bounty on that boy, man.
Reggie, we got a match to get with out here as Saturn whipped into the corner, and he took him out with that monkey flip. Dave, you don't see that as much as you used to.
No, you don't, but it's
still
effective,
love it.
isn't it?
Oh, you better believe it.
He snapped him out of that corner. Look at the way he spun him around. He spun him. He spun him 360 degrees in the air. Man, this Doug Basham, well, that slowed him down right there.
Cronus jumped up on the edge of the ring. He got no business being up, and here comes Saturn after the All-American. Doug Basham taking right hand after right hand.
Coco is a dead man. You better believe that. He's a dead man this Monday night. He's dead.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's the explanation is he big knee coming up there right in between the shoulder blades of Doug Basham, and Eliminator Saturn, no doubt about this guy's ability. He's got it. He's a little hard to get along with, but brother, he can go, and a tough son of a gun.
No doubt. The Eliminators team has been a rugged team. The All-American Doug Basham coming in out of Kentucky. And he's got a tough assignment here today. We knew that going in, but also knew he was up to it. He's looked good early in the match. Been in trouble here the last minute and a half or so, though.
We're going to be taking a look at both of the Eliminators. Kind of 1, 2, and Basham out of it again. Good move. He's doing what he has to do to keep that shoulder up at that 3 count.
He was almost out, but you're right. He's still going.
He's still going, indeed. We had a standby tag match scheduled with the Eliminators. Basham was going to be joined by Jeff Gaylord, but Gaylord was jumped. In case you joined us late, Gaylord was jumped by Sid Vicious and Spike Huber. 3 power bombs later, he was laid out in the ring, had to be hauled out of here with an ambulance. His left leg was okay, but he couldn't move. Oh, look at Cronus. Reached up, grabbed the foot, dumped Basham down, kind of 1, 2, 3, big.
Well, the Eliminators get that victory. You can't say Saturn got it by himself because he had help on more than one occasion from Cronus. And look at this, jump in here and double up on the kid.
And I tell you, you get so irritated at these guys that it just won't let well enough alone. They get a tainted win anyhow for Saturn and then stand there and do it. Okay, we're going to take time out. We'll be back in a minute. It's all set up by the Sid Vicious thing. Pardon me.
What a day today. But I tell you what, at least there's some measure of satisfaction in that Brian Christopher is, in fact, going to get a return title match. He's going to have Monday night at the Coliseum against Doug Gilbert. He had to put his car up against the belt in order to get it, but he's got the match. And then we got this big match coming up in which we have Lawler coming in now.
Oh, boy, and that is for a fact. Jeff Gaylord got injured. We'll get to that in a minute. But we have not had a further report. I don't want to be cavalier or callous about it. We'll get back to it in a second. But Jeff got injured. Jerry Lawler has changed his plan. He was due to wrestle for the WWF in Boston. He has said, I am going to be right there in Memphis, joining with King Kong Bundy to go against Huber and Vicious.
Watch what happened. We'll show you just a little bit of this, and we're running very short of time here. But Sid Vicious and Spike Huber were out. There's Vicious. Vicious saying, I hate to do this, but I feel I have to do this. That's ridiculous, as I think everyone will agree. Picks Gaylord up, puts the power bomb on him. I think this is the first one, right? This is the second one right here. All right, he already power bombed him once. And he said, I'm going to have to do that again. So he goes in and look at Huber, pick him up, and they drop him right down. That's the second time. Then they come back and they do it again. This is the third one right here. They pick him up high in the air. Look at Huber extend that back, stretch it out, almost has him doubled up, and then they drop him right back down there again. Obviously, at that point, we were determined that Jeff had some sort of problem, either with the neck or the back, not exactly sure. Looking at the videotape, could have been either, it looks like. So the medical attendants were called for. Nobody wanted to take a chance on moving him out of there, and he did leave in the ambulance. As a result of that, Lawler said, yeah, I'll be back.
He's going to be here. It'll be Lawler jumping in with King Kong Bundy against Vicious and Huber. It's going to be one heck of a bout. We're looking forward to it Monday night down there. And we got to go. I hear news for Corey Macklin, Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.